Hey everyone, if you are curious about what is going on in the Stockton housing market, then continue to watch this video. We're back with the March 2023 market update video for you all. And my name is David, this is Richard. We're brokers here in Stockton with Advanced One McKeever Real Estate. And we're gonna get right into the housing data here for March of 2023. Let's start off with the chart, which shows the number of homes that were for sale, how many went pending, and how many sold last month. Do you want to give us a couple stats, Richard?
Well, I mean, what sticks out is obviously the red line going straight up, not straight up, but up at a pretty good angle. That's pendings, the red line. So that went up from a number of 175 up to 227. So that's a big increase. Inventory dropping, sales coming up. Looks interesting. What do you think that's leading to?
Yeah, well, you have the inventory, which is the light green bar, which fell from 323 down to 279 homes on the market. The month before that, there were 384 homes on the market, and even the month before that, were 448 homes on the market. So you can see the number of homes coming on the market has fallen.
Yes.
What's really interesting here is if you look back a year ago at this time, in January and February of last year, and even into March, it was almost the opposite. You know, we saw, usually this time of year, we start to see more homes come on the market. Yeah. And thus far, it's declining. So
usually after the holidays, they start listing.
Yep. Yeah. So a lot of the potential people who want to place their home on the market are staying put at this moment in time. Yet the evidence here, the data shows that the buyers are in the market because pendings jumped 30% last month from the previous month, and it's just interesting to see what happens here. It almost feels like a little bit of a stalemate. There's buyers entering into the market. They want to purchase, but the sellers are reluctant to sell at this moment in time. So we shall see what unfolds here.
Yeah, the good thing about that, I guess, is, like you said, the buyers are coming out, accepting the interest rates where they're at. And what are the sellers thinking? I don't know. Yeah. But maybe they're thinking it's going to go back up, which is a possibility, and they'll make more money in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, so next, let's look at the average sold price in Stockton. We saw a significant jump there, so let's take a look at the data. So here on this chart is the average sold price. It's the bottom red line that goes across the screen. And the thing that jumps out to me, and probably to you as well, is the spike we saw from January to February. This average sold price in Stockton went from $422,000 up to $462,000 in February. Quite a large increase. I know more homes sold last month, but why do you think that we saw such a spike there?
Well, a couple of things. I guess the buyers are coming out, the inventory is going down, so here we go. Maybe prices are already recouping, or this is for the city of Stockton, so maybe there were 3 or 4 high sales in there, like way above our average, like a couple million or something like that, that upset the average. We'll know that in a month or two. But wow, that's a pretty good hike.
Yeah, the one thing it did stop is, we'll call it the bleeding, of the dropping of home prices, right? It feels like with the inventory lowering and the pendings coming up, we may have reached some sort of new bottom, because we are off the peak of the highs of the market from last year, from 486 now to 462. So we're probably at some sort of bottom, and we'll see where the prices trend here in the near future.
One thing for sure is we know that supply and demand dictates the market, and it looks like it's starting to do it again.
Yeah, definitely. All right, next chart here is our days on market graph. Let's take a look at that next. All right, so on this chart, it shows further evidence that maybe the prices have stabilized here, because the top line here, the green line across the top, is the list to sales price ratio. And that line had been trending down. It was 94%, 93%, 93%. And last month, it went back up to 95%, which means Homes are selling for 95% of the asking price. An upward trend here is good news for people that own a home or thinking about selling their home.
That's right.
And Richard, what's the days on market doing here?
Well, days on market are up a little bit, only a couple of days from last month. So some overpriced listings cause days on the market to really be higher than they probably are, because we've seen when they were priced right, they're still selling within a couple of weeks. So the overpriced listings probably have that number higher than it should be. And a prediction would probably be that that number is going to start easing down in the next couple of months.
Yeah, and the other thing I've noticed that's affecting days on market is the fact of the rates have been fluctuating so much. They've gone from 3 up to 7, back down to 6, under 5, and now back near 7 again. And it's just causing a lot of uncertainty amongst buyers. But what happens is people get pre-approved at 6%. They go to purchase the house. Next thing you know, the rates are 6.75, and they either have
they can't buy that house.
They can't afford it, or they have buyer's remorse, which means they back out. The home goes back on the market, and it creates this combined days on the market, which could show why it's so high, because we are seeing homes come back on the market from time to time due to the fluctuating rates.
Yeah, and appraisals could be affecting that too. But I still think at the end, supply and demand is going to win.
Speaking of supply and demand, we have one more chart for you, and that's the months of inventory. And our last chart here is the months of inventory. It explains how long all the homes on the market would take to sell if no more homes were put on the market. And that is 1.2 months, which is really low.
Yes.
And that's evidence of the declining number of homes that came on the market, combined with that spike of pending sales, which causes this to drop off.
Yeah, and again, with the inventory dropping and the sales going up, that might go down a little bit more.
Potentially could, yeah. So this, technically, it's saying we're in a seller's market because this has fallen down to 1.2 months. And the key to a neutral market or a normal market, we need to be about that 3 level and higher. So the way it sits now, it's saying sellers are back in the driver's seat, but I give that an asterisk because it really all depends on what interest rates do. If we continue to hover around that 7% or higher mark, then I don't think we're in too much of a seller's market.
Yeah, I don't think we'd have enough buyers for the sellers to be able to control.
Yeah, that's true.
In another way of saying.
Yeah. But that's a recap of the Stockton Housing Market Update for March 2023. And as always, if you have any questions about your specific neighborhood, your home's value, we are here to help you guys out and answer any real estate related questions that you may have. And if you're on YouTube, we'd really appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below on which way you think the housing market is going. And lastly, hit that subscribe button right down below to see all of our future videos. We'll see you on the next one.